I'm Michael Fox, and this is the Prospector News Podcast. And we are on location at the New Orleans Investment Conference in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I have joining me, I got Marco Roque, who is the CEO of Cassiar Gold. Welcome, Marco.
Thanks, Michael. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's absolutely. I've been following this story for a while, but for our listeners that aren't particularly familiar with you, let's give them the 10,000-foot view of what the company is and what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Michael. So really from the 30,000-foot view, Cassiar Gold, we are a Canadian gold explorer. We're focused on our flagship by the same name, the Cassiar Gold Property, which is located in northern British Columbia, close to the border with the Yukon, roughly 200 kilometers north of the Great Chris mine, which is one of the most significant mine developments in BC. So Cassiar Gold, we have a foundational resource. We have a 1.4 million ounce resource at 1.14 grams per ton inferred right at surface. The footprint is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer. 90% of the ounces occur within 150 meters from surface, so there's almost no overburden. Overburden is on average 10 meters, but more importantly, that deposit is open laterally in most directions and at depth. In fact, we've been expanding that quite successfully in the last couple of years. Of the resources from early 2022, and we have drilled since in our project just under 40,000 meters with a very, very high hit ratio. Out of almost 120 drill holes, we've only missed 2 so far in significant widths above cutoff grade. Around the Taurus Deposit, we've been expanding mineralization very significantly. The footprint of mineralization has more than doubled from the resource base that we have. But we're not only looking to make Taurus bigger, which is growing and it remains open as we speak, but more importantly, we're looking to find multiple Taurus-like deposits, kind of satellite deposits that could be as big as Taurus, and or potentially maybe even bigger, or even more excitingly, they might even be connected. But we still have a lot of work ahead of us to be able to prove that up. In addition to that, we also have these underground high-grade veins from where most of the historical production has come from. This is from the Cassiar South area. These veins grade 10 to 20 grams per ton. They're on average 3-meter thick. They pinch and swell, obviously, as most of these vein systems, but more excitingly, they're open along strike and down dip, and we've been successfully extending those very, very successfully in the last few years as well. Other than that, obviously, as you can tell, we have a lot of exploration upside. But something that really sets us apart is the fact that because this district is past producing, it comes with a wealth of infrastructure. So we have a fully owned and permitted 300 ton per day mill. We have Highway 37 bisecting our property. We have over 160 kilometers of property access roads. We have 2 Mines Act permits, one in and around the Taurus Deposit, as well as at the Cassiar South, in and around the past producing high grade veins. We have a permanent camp. We have access to power and water. And other than that, we also have the social license to operate. We're committed to developing this project in an environmental responsible way. And in addition to that, we also have a world-class leadership team, collective experience, nearly 250 years. But more than the quantity of years of experience is really the breadth and depth of technical expertise in our board. So I really encourage people to have a look at our team. Is really exciting. And basically, you get all of this. I'm speaking today, November the 3rd. The market cap is around 24 million Canadian. We have just under 6 million in the bank. So a very, very attractive enterprise value. And we still have a lot of news flow coming. We still have just under 7,600 meters of drilling from 21 drill holes to release. It's in following that, so that probably should come in the next few weeks and months. We also have a potential resource update in late Q1, early Q2 that could translate all the recent success. What's exciting is despite all the success in the drilling, that actually hasn't been reflected on the share price. In fact, we just put out a press release earlier this week where we hit 237 meters of 0.69 grams per ton at the main mine area, in an area where we're drilling for high grade, and we have a very, very long bulk tonnage style intercept, which really goes to prove the potential of these Taurus style deposits across our property. And again, there's more news flow to come. So it's a pretty exciting and compelling story at the very, very attractive valuation.
Yeah, I've liked the story because it has a lot of good intercepts. It's looks like it's going to be an open pittable mine, which is a lower cost than having to go dig through the mountains there. And it's located in that Golden Triangle region of northern BC, which has been a very prolific gold and silver and copper producing area of North America for quite a number of years. The drill programs this year, how big were they?
Yeah, so since our last resource update, I mentioned that we drilled just under 40,000 meters. So last year we drilled 23,000 meters. So that success is not reflected on our resource yet. This year we drilled just over 16,000 meters. A very robust program. We drilled in and around Taurus. So in and around Taurus, we drilled just over 9,000 meters, looking to expand the areas immediately around Taurus, continue to expand that mineralization. We drilled roughly 3,200 meters at the Cassiar South, looking to extend those high-grade veins. And by chance, or maybe not so much by chance, we found this bulk style mineralization I just mentioned, those 237 meters at 0.69. And then we drilled roughly just over 3,700 meters at the outlying targets, such as New Coast, Lucky, Wings Canyon, that be again proving up the similar the thesis of multiple potential for multiple Taurus style satellite deposits. So a really robust program. In addition to that, we also have a very significant field program. We've also completed a soil survey grid of roughly a 3 square kilometer area. As a reminder, Taurus is on the roughly 1 square kilometer area. And basically this goes from the east of Taurus all the way up to Snow Creek, which is one of our prospects that has outcropping mineralization exactly on the same style as Taurus. And there's overburn in between. So that's where we did the soil grid sampling for a 3 square kilometer area that goes up to that outcropping mineralization. So that's something that could be quite significant, because we believe there's a potential not only to Snow Creek to be potentially a satellite deposit similar to Taurus, but the whole thing might connect because mineralization grows along strike in that direction. So that's going to be interesting to see the results out of that. We also done an IP survey that's roughly a 10 square kilometer area covering Taurus, as well as part of this soil grid survey to see if we can find the edges of, or get some insights on where are the edges of the Taurus system. Hopefully they are open and continue, but let's see. We need to get the truth machine, the drill rigs out there and prove that up. But the IP might give us some clues there. And we also did a mapping program, which is roughly a 30 square kilometer area that basically on the Cassiar North area that goes from just south of the Lucky targets to and also covers the Snow Creek area and all the way down to the Highway 37 area. So it really helps us to really properly evaluate a bigger part of our land package. And as a reminder, our land package is 590 square kilometers. This is a 30 square kilometer mapping and sampling exercise. And the reason for that is we've just been focused around the areas of known mineral occurrences, and we've just been going from the inside, from the known to the unknown. But we have a very, very large land package, and we're only really starting to scratch the surface. So maybe we believe this field program might give us some indications of how prospective some of these areas might be.
Yeah, given the proliferation of lots of mineralization through that area, that unknown could be areas of interest for sure. The drilling program that you had, how many holes and how deep did you actually go per hole?
Yeah, so we drilled 49 drill holes. I think average depth is just roughly 350 meters. So it's it's a relatively good depth. We know there's a lot of potential more at depth, but we're just been focusing on close to surface mineralization, in many cases where it's outcropping. Again, we're just starting to scratch the surface, I was saying.
Yes, for sure. So based on what you've learned through the field and the drill programs this year, what does the 2024 Cassiar exploration program going to look like?
Yeah, so well, we're just still in the middle of receiving and interpreting all the results, but so far the results been really living up to the expectation of a truly big system here. Obviously, as we hit mineralization, it just opens new areas for growth. We hit at Taurus East, we hit at Wings Canyon, we hit at the Taurus proper deposit on the margins as well. We've infilled areas where there was no drilling or no resource blocks within the pit shell of the Taurus deposit. We've just had a very positive surprise at the main mine with that long intercept. So we're just opening new areas for growth. We still have results pending from Taurus West, Taurus Southwest, New Coast, as well as Lucky, which is one of two of our priority regional targets. Our hope is that opens new avenues for growth there. But we'll have to see what the results bring. So stay tuned for that. So following that, we'll have to assess exactly where where we want to focus our attention. We certainly want to continue to do more mapping and sampling to actually properly evaluate our land package, because we're really only starting to scratch the surface in terms of the known areas. But we're opening new areas, so we want to follow up with that. We'll also like to continue to basically follow up on all of this drilling. So ideally, a drill program that is as big as the one this year. We'll have more data as we get all the results and we refine our plan for next year. But certainly we can't wait to get back there, especially even with what we have so far, it's just roughly half of the program that has been released. It's been a tremendous success so far. So, we're very excited to just follow up on these, and hopefully from the ones that we're missing, we want to follow up on those as well. So we're opening areas for growth, and we want to continue to follow up on that.
Wonderful. For next year's program, you're looking at a budget very similar to this year if you're going to do the same amount of work. How funded is that program, and are you going to have to go back to the market?
Yeah, we just have under $6 million in the bank right now. So we really need to watch out for dilution. We think like insider ownership is just over 11%. Insiders think as shareholders. So we really need to strike the right balance between dilution and advancing the project in a meaningful way. So that's why for us the key is really continue to advance the geology, the mapping and sampling work, and also focusing on the high priority targets that can really unlock value by opening new areas of growth. Just like the examples of the main mine, and we'll see what the New Coast and Lucky and the other outside targets, or what we saw at Wings Canyon and Taurus East. So we might do a financing for that, but we would be extremely careful in striking the right balance between dilution that is not hurtful for our shareholders. At the same time, we can have the capital to advance this project in a meaningful way.
Wonderful. It'd be good to build on the successes of 2023 next year. So look forward to that. And if people want to follow the company, follow you, and learn more about what's going on and watch this progress, how would they do so?
Absolutely. So you can find us on our website, www.cassiargold.com. You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And you can find us on the website there. People can also reach out if they want to ask any questions or find out more about the company. This is an extremely attractive opportunity. It's undervalued. Just like many of our peers, sentiment is very negative in a gold equity space, but that's a tremendous opportunity, especially for the projects that have been advancing and have a lot of value. Price is not equal value. do your homework, do your due diligence, come check what we have. We have a lot of infrastructure. We have mine permits. We have a big resource. It's growing. We have a big land package. There's a lot of opportunity here. So I encourage people to have a look at what we have and reach out. They can reach out to me as well. My email is marco@cassiargold.com. So I welcome everyone to reach out, any of your listeners, and looking forward to connecting with them as well.
And I'll put that email address on the commentary about the podcast, and people will be able to click through that way to get a hold of you. Well, thank you very much for joining me. It's good to actually have people in front of me to talk to, and instead of through the computer screen. So it's nice. Awesome. Thanks very much, Marco.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Michael.
The Prospector News podcast is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants and are not to be taken as investment advice. Listeners need to do their own due diligence and seek advice of a licensed investment advisor.